Well, good morning, guys. Another fine day at the off-grid. Today, I've got a special plan, special project in mind, and it is going to involve our wading pools. As it turns out, water is cold. It's a little chilly. What I'm thinking of building today is a wood-fired pool heater. That's my plan. I've got some leftover materials from other jobs, some 3/4 inch copper, because if you got to buy it at today's prices, it may not be worth it. You might just want to swim in cold water. It is crazy times right now with supply chain issues and you know, having to scrounge and source stuff. So anybody that ever saved anything in the last couple of years, they kind of like for a rainy day. Today's your rainy day, guys, because it's crazy. I tried to buy a 3/4 inch piece of copper pipe, which I ended up finding one. They had one in stock, and they said they haven't been able to get it for months. I don't know if that's, you know, kind of like things to come. Anyways, so that's my plan, is to use leftover items that I have laying around to build myself a pool heater because, well, again, like I said, water is cold and I want it to be comfortable. A nice comfortable 80 degrees or something slightly warmer than that would be ideal. A lot of guys are going to say, well, why wouldn't you make it like passive, like a passive solar heater with black pipe or whatever and a big coil? My answer to that is a lot of the times in my kind of climate, it's cloudy. Like it'll be really hot, humid, but cloudy. When it's cloudy, solar collectors tend not to work. I may do an inline passive solar heater just kind of, just because actually I have a piece, and why not, right? Like almost like a preheater for the wood-fired heater.
Anyways, this is just a road find.
Oh yeah? You're just driving by and you saw that on the side of the road.
And I thought, boy, that looks like something Kevin would use.
Yeah, well, it looks homemade. Look, it's got like a whole pile of zip ties on the
so
thing.
I think it has been maybe used for something similar to what we're going to be using it for today.
So do you think it was unsuccessful and that's why they got rid of it? Or do you think like it was a failed, like a project that maybe, like there was no water in it, so?
No, there was nothing in it, so I'm not really sure.
That's gotta be like $50 in zip ties. Look at those. That's crazy.
And they're good ones too.
Yeah.
They're the double ones.
The double one. So we're gonna probably put that in line, just for kicks. I don't know if we need a pump on that guy, but yeah, we'll hook that thing up, as well as we got our copper pipe here, and we got some PEX piping. I know that stuff's not UV stabilized, but that's okay. So fun fact on this copper pipe, this is 3/4 inch flexible copper pipe, and currently they want $350 for a 50-foot roll of this stuff, which is, it's crazy. I have the habit of this stuff laying around from a previous job, and I've had no use for it. I should probably sell it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use it to heat my pool. Some of you guys were asking where I got the fence boards. Well, you know me, I didn't pay for them. I actually responded to a free post on Marketplace on Facebook. There was a nice couple that had removed their fence, and they wanted to get rid of it for free, and they wanted it to be repurposed. So I went along with my GoPro. So here's the story on where I got the fence boards. I got word that there's some free fence panels. I don't exactly know what condition they are in. I'm going to go check them out just to see, because the price of wood these days, price of fuel, price of everything is very expensive. So there's the panels there. They look beautiful. They got the homeowner. He's just a little bit off camera. That's okay. He doesn't have to be involved. Beggars can't be choosers, right? You can't look a gift horse in the mouth. Apparently that's the saying. It's not punch a gift horse in the mouth. That's what I said before.
So what are you planning to do with these? Like,
Boardwalk.
oh yeah,
Boardwalk in a marshy area.
that'll work fine.
Yeah. So probably put cedar posts on the base and then cut all the nails off these guys, because they're usually really brittle. And then
Yeah.
long enough they don't even just cut off the nails. All right, we got her back. We got a pile of fence boards. Retail value on each one of these boards here, these 1x6 is about $6.50. So if you guys could do the math on that, that's a whole pile worth of lumber right there. So that there is going to be our decking material, and I think it's going to work out really well. So let's get it. We got to get it down there. We got to go take it apart, and we start building our deck. So the last couple of days we've had a lot of rain. We've had probably about 2.5 inches of rain in the last 2 days. My rainwater collection system is pretty much topped right up to the brim, and that's how we filled up our pool. So it's got nice fresh rainwater in it. One of the byproducts of having rain in the bush is that everything's very muddy. So kind of trying to dodge the mud. My AstroTurf that I put down the other day is working excellent. I can walk on it and I don't have any clay or sand or anything like that sticking to my feet. That's working out well, but the rest of it's just a muddy mess. So we're just gonna kind of try to tiptoe around that, not get our feet too muddy, because well, working with muddy shoes kind of sucks. I just want to take this opportunity to thank Livestock Equipment Canada for supplying this stock tank. They have stock tanks that range from 3 feet in diameter all the way up to 10 feet in diameter. They also have the bathtub looking ones that are kind of rounded on the ends. So if you're looking for a stock tank, you can check them out. The link will be in the description below. What's great about them is they're the exclusive distributor of Hastings tanks in Canada. So anywhere in Canada that you're looking for one of these tanks, you can look them up, or you can look them up in the United States. What's also great is they offer delivery in their delivery area. So if you're close to one of their location, they can put it on their truck and they can deliver it right to your location. What if you're a little bit further away, maybe you're, out of their delivery. They have retail locations in Ontario, Nova Scotia, and Alberta, so you should look them up. Also, what I find is these Hastings tanks are made of thicker steel. They're not flimsy at all. They have the nice round-lipped top, which lend itself well to be a tub. They all come equipped with a drain plug, which is essential in our northern climate. When winter comes and you need to drain it, you pull the plug. Also, if you're hooking up a tub to it, it seems to be the ideal solution for that, for thermal siphoning using a wood-fired heater. And yeah, they're pretty cool. It's cool tool time. Now this guy here is a Makita 18-volt brushless grinder. It's versatile. Whether you're cutting a barrel or changing out your catalytic converter, this is the tool for the job. It comes with detachable batteries. You can charge them at home. You can put them in your pocket. You can see the indicator light there on there. It just slides on there, so it gives you infinite power. It's got a adjustable speed controller on this side. It's got the safety feature of the on-off switch, so if you accidentally drop the thing, it'll turn off for you. You can change the wheels out easily enough, so whether or not you want a cutting disc on there, which is a thin curved blade, or a grinding disc, there's the option there. And it's got the extra added handle for more precision cutting. So that's there, the Makita brushless angle grinder. Okay, so we've already made some revisions. Our original plan was to take this barrel and cut it directly in half, and then what we're going to do is take our copper pipe and wrap it around the barrel, and then use what's left of the barrel in order to sleeve the copper pipe to protect it from mechanical damage, from throwing wood inside the fire, and kind of acting like a thermal gain. We could also pack the ring with sand to kind of give us even more surface area, more contact with the copper pipe to give us an even better heat exchange. We've changed that plan, and what we're going to do now is we're going to cut along the top ring of the barrel in order to give us basically 2/3 of barrel, and we're going to wrap our pipe in the top section of it, because the bottom section of it's going to, have air tubes to actually allow oxygen to become introduced to the fire in order to complete our combustion, and we don't have a lot of pipe. I will hold at the bottom, so what we want to do is we want the cold end at the bottom. So we've run into a little bit of a problem. The problem being is that this 3/4 inch copper is not the same as this 3/4 inch copper, which is, this is household plumbing. I believe this stuff is air conditioning, flexible copper, the return line or the feed line or something like that. So what I've come up with the plan, because I don't have any copper and I'm not gonna buy it at $350 for a 50-foot roll. So what I've done is I've taken regular copper pipe, which is the right diameter that fits my elbows, because what I want to do is I want to continue my elbows off, but as you can see they're loosey-goosey. So what I'm going to do is actually solder this piece of pipe over the top of it and then solder my elbow onto that afterwards. So what I'm doing is I'm adding flux to the inside of the outside of this pipe and then the inside of this pipe, and then I'm going to add it to the outside of that pipe, because I'm going to put an elbow on it, because like I want to do is I want to build this guy up. I wouldn't be able to solder this elbow. You guys can see really closely here. This elbow, see on this, see how much room there is? So what I'm doing is I'm taking up the space with it, with this elbow, or with this piece of sleeve, which is going to sit like this. And then I'm going to take this piece of copper, and I'm going to solder over top of this. Now, have I ever tried this before? No. Do I recommend doing it in your house? No. That whole thing will get soldered together. Hopefully one big happily family. All right, so now we got the elbows soldered on. You can see right here, we've got the two coming off, and what we're gonna do is, because we only have a 12-foot length of pipe, I'm gonna place this thing about 8 feet away from the tub. And that gives me a kind of like a safe distance for having a fire. And then what I'm gonna do is actually connect the bottom piece. If you wanna follow me over here, it is kind of muddy. Put the one stove right here, a rock under there. Ideally, this thing is actually lower than the stock tank, because what's going to happen is the cold water is going to flow out of the stock tank. The hot water is going to get heated from this thing and pump itself automatically back to the stock tank, which is really cool. Okay, so here's my 12-foot length of copper. Now, I want to put the copper at the top side because that's going to be the hottest water that's coming out. And what I'm going to do is put it like this, and then a downturn elbow to actually make it go back in to the pool. And what I'm told is that you don't want to actually have the elbow touching the water, and because it creates some sort of vapor lock or something like that. So you just want to have it above, and the water will naturally permeate around after it's heated. So cold out the bottom, hot into the top. I got it. That water's cold. All right, so my plan with this thing is to get the barrel off the ground, because I want to give it a little bit more height, because I want the outlet to be even with the top of the tub and not have to work so hard with my thermal siphon. So I've got an old tractor tire rim, and that's going to sit on my barrel. It's also going to do another thing, is going to keep my barrel out of the water, so it'll actually prolong the life of the barrel. Burn barrels have an especially hard time with burning, because they tend to rust out a lot. So fortunately, there's lots of them around. So this is just to prolong the life, get it up off the ground. Probably make it easier to load as well. All right, as it turns out, the rim that I previously selected is too tall. So what I've done is I've swapped it out for this one. It's a car tire rim, and then that's going to give us a little less height, because I don't want the outlet on the tub to be higher than the inlet on my heater. I think that one looks better too. Solder that guy on. When I had first put the tank in, I kind of thought past my nose, and I was thinking of future consideration. So what I did was actually put a nipple and then a T. So I've got my clean out. So when I want to drain it for the winter time, I just pull that cap and away it goes. And I put a valve on, so when I want my heater to run, I can turn this valve on and have the water go to the heater and then back up again. So that's the kind of thing that you kind of want to do before you fill the tub, because there's no way you could add this kind of thing with it full of water. So now what I'm going to do is actually connect my PEX piping, which is going to feed my heater, and then we're going to fire it up. You ready for the fire, Don?
I'm ready for the fire.
All
I'm
right.
always ready for the fire.
All right, throw it there. While that gets started, I'm going to actually turn the water on, because I don't want this copper pipe to actually overheat. As long as there's water in there, my solder joints won't actually let go. You can hear the water running out. So it's going to be sitting inside that pipe, and as it warms up, it's going to come back out this side hot. That's my plan anyways. This video is sponsored by EcoFlow. Now, if you guys have watched my channel for any length of time, you guys know that I'm a big fan of EcoFlow's product. And today I'm going to introduce you to two different products that EcoFlow carries. This is the EcoFlow River Mini. Now, this thing is the ultimate travel portable power pack. You can throw it in your backpack. It packs a real punch. It has 210 watt hours of power. It also boasts USB-A charging ports. It has a cigarette lighter adapter for your DC applications. It has 2 AC outlets on the back that allows you to plug in any of your AC device with your pure sine inverter. And the greatest thing about this thing is it charges in under an hour. It gets to up to 80% charge within the hour. This thing is the ultimate travel companion for those people that need a little bit of power on the go. The only thing mini about the EcoFlow River Mini, it's its name. This thing has a powerful 300 watt inverter that allows you to power 99% of your electronic devices, whether it be your TV or your laptop or you're charging your drone. Much like all of EcoFlow's power packs, this thing can be charged in 3 different ways. You can charge it through your wall outlet at home using AC, or you can charge it through the DC charging port through your vehicle's charging port, or you can hook it up through solar. Now, if you hook it up through your AC adapter at home, it charges in just over an hour to 100%, or you get it 80% in under an hour. You can charge it through solar, and that usually takes about 3 to 6 hours using a 100 watt panel, or you can charge it with your car, and that generally takes between 3 to 4 hours, which is pretty good options to pretty much suit anything that you need. Did I mention the EcoFlow River Mini weighs just over 6 pounds? The great thing about EcoFlow's power packs is they come in a variety of different sizes to suit your needs. So for instance, this is the EcoFlow River Max, and this is a slightly larger battery than the EcoFlow River Mini. This thing is kind of cool because it's scalable. So this little chunk here is an extra battery pack. You can make it the EcoFlow River by removing this pack, or you can upgrade it to the EcoFlow River Pro, which gives you even larger capacity. So this one in particular is scalable. And what's neat about it is it charges the same speed as any other EcoFlow pack in just under an hour to get to 80%. Some of the difference between the EcoFlow River Mini and the EcoFlow River Max is this thing comes with a USB-C port. So your high drain devices, whether it be your iPads or your Apple cell phones or anything that requires USB-C port, it has it. It also has a really neat light. So you can see the light there. That's pretty convenient if you're camping and you need kind of like a tent light. This thing will pretty much stay on all night if you need it. And the good thing about this is it can be charged in 3 different ways, whether it be your AC outlet at home, charges in just under an hour. It can be charged with solar, and it can also be charged with your car. This pack in particular can charge up to 10 devices simultaneously. It has 576 watt hours of power. Now, that means you can charge your phone like 42 times, or you can charge your drone like 6 times, or you can make yourself like 24 cups of coffee with a coffee maker. Did I mention on the back it has a pure sine inverter, which allows you to plug in 3 devices simultaneously and run them? With EcoFlow's proprietary X-Boost technology, it allows you to power high drain devices up to 1800 watts. So you could power, a vacuum cleaner, a microwave, or even a lawnmower. The other thing I like about the EcoFlow River Max is it's relatively lightweight. It's about 17 pounds. It has a really cool handle so you can carry it in one hand. For this particular scenario, I'm using the EcoFlow River Max to power my pool. It says it's drawing about 55 watts of juice, and it says on the display screen that it'll power the pool for 10 hours. Now that's a pretty good day at the pool. EcoFlow is currently running a huge promotion on Amazon Prime Days. As we speak, some of the products are up to 48% off, or $900, so you should check them out. Click the link in the description below to find out more information on EcoFlow's amazing line of products and more information on EcoFlow's Amazon Prime Day. Hey Don, what's our baseline temp?
Okay, we're about 62 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 18 Celsius.
All right, so that's our starting temp. We'll see how we do. All right, update time. I want to give you guys firsthand experience, because this is my first time doing this. So what I've noticed so far is we've been burning for about 15 minutes. As you can see, the edges of the barrel are, the paint's burning off, which is means the outside of the barrel is hot. Now, what I've actually saved on this guy is the actual, where we cut it around, because what my plan is proof of concept. I want to make sure it works before I throw a lot more effort into this thing. So that shroud is designed to kind of wrap around the copper pipes in order to keep more heat in, and then I might fill it with sand. But what I want to do is to see if it actually works. So if I touch this pipe here, it's not cold. When it started off, it was extremely cold, like pool temperature water, and it's not that temperature anymore. It's kind of like lukewarm. I can still touch it. As you can see, I'm close to the fire. I can still touch it, still touch it, still touch it. My hand is getting hot from the flame itself, but the water isn't quite warm enough. So the idea is that the cold water comes in the bottom and it expands and it pushes it back up the tube back into the pool. So there is no electricity or pumps required. So that's what I'm waiting for it to happen. Now, I haven't been burning this. This thing hasn't been lit for that long, 15 minutes. So this is kind of like, you know, you're doing maintenance around the area and you want to heat the pool. So you're cleaning up sticks and whatnot and you're throwing them in the barrel. You're kind of like two birds, one stone. You're heating your pool up while you're kind of playing around or cleaning up, or, you know, deadfall, or, you know, you got a pile of sticks you want to get rid of. I'm just waiting now for the first trickle of hot water to come back into the tub. And then it'll kind of constantly do that because the barrel has got to this temperature that is required in order to thermal siphon. Danger! Danger, Will Robinson, danger! It's not gonna stay there. Oh, it's too hot. Well, that's where that goes, but I think we should let it cool down a little bit. Oh, stay. Come on. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, that's gonna work so much better. Let's just, we're gonna wait and see, right? Like, that's gonna refocus the heat back in on the pipes. Oh, I think we're getting somewhere, Don. Look at that! Oh my! See that? Oh, that's crazy. Look at that hot water coming out of there. Actually, I'm afraid it's gonna melt it's coming out like, it's hot. That just came out, it's nice and gentle. I can't even check the temperature it came out, but it came out. I can't even touch this pipe anymore. It's that hot. We gotta wait for some more water to come out. That was cool. That was exciting. All right, come on, more water. So we have proof of concept. It is functioning as designed. I'm going to actually revisit this tomorrow when this fire burns down, cools off a little bit. I'm going to do a slight modification. What I'm going to do is actually raise this barrel up in order to create, I guess, less head pressure for the water going back in the tub. Because what's happening now is the water is coming back in the tub essentially superheated, almost like kettle water. I think it's a little too, it's got to go up a little too high, and so the water has to get extremely hot in order to get back in there. So if I almost make it level, or even almost like a slight downward slope, I think what will occur is it actually won't heat it up as much, but there'll be more flow, because I don't necessarily want my my tub to be boiling. All right, guys, started day 2. We had a significant amount of rainfall yesterday. There was about 1 inch. That coupled with the previous day's 2 inches, we have about 3 inches of rain. The pond is back up to spring levels, and we're still working on this pool heater. So come to the conclusion that, well, the heater is too low, so it's making the water go to a too higher temperature before it thermal siphons it back to the stock tank. So anyways, so my plan today is to raise the stock tank. If you throw a level on this guy, you can see how the tank is higher, which is not a bad thing. It's just going to create hotter water. So if you look at this, we basically, over 4 feet, we have about a 4.5 inch rise over 4 feet. So my plan is to actually take that guy and almost make it level, because what'll happen is the water won't have to get as hot to flow back into my stock tank. That's my thought. And then what I'm going to do is use what I have to my advantage. So I have a lot of clay here. So what I'm thinking of doing is packing the actual copper pipes in clay to give me more of intimate contact with the barrel, to give it more of a heat exchange that way. Because if you've ever looked at a heat exchanger, or even like an electric rad, you'll see that there's like little fins, and what they do is they they permeate the heat. It works both ways. So if you have intimate contact with your heat source, it's going to radiate heat away from it. And if you want to gather heat, you want the most surface area possible. So if I pack that coil with clay, it should, in theory, give me enough intimate contact, thermal connectivity to the actual pipe, act like a heat sink, and it's going to collect more heat, therefore working more efficiently. Now that I've got the clay to the consistency of chunky peanut butter, it's got some hold fastness, it's kind of gooey, it's packable. You'd think it would smell funny. It doesn't smell funny at all. And when I'm doing this, I want to push it all the way to the barrel to get as much contact with the copper pipes as I can. Okay, so now that I got my mud pie built, I'm going to put my heat reflector plate back on in order to reflect my heat back onto the clay, and then I'm going to fire it up to see how well it works, and also to I guess cure the clay. And then what I can do after that is if it shrinks and expands or whatever, I could take the actual the reflection plate back off and then refill it and then fire it again to see what happens. So ideally it turns into one big mass of clay and refracts my heat. So now that I have the fire established, I'm getting a constant trickle out of the top side of the heat exchanger, and that is good, but I don't feel as though it's moving enough water. So I want to ramp this thing up a little bit. I want to actually add some power to this thing. So I'm going to jerry rig some pieces together to have on my inflow side of it to in order to pump water forcefully through my heat exchanger to hopefully get a better flow and better heat exchange, more volume, and actually get my thing heated up quicker. This is extremely hot. There is hot water going in here. Yeah, there's no real easy way around that besides cutting this thing and letting it drain out as I do it. So I'm going to try to put this coupling on to hook up my hose. So. If I don't let the water come back, I won't get cooked. I want to work relatively quickly because I don't want my fittings to melt. All right, so after the last little while, we've raised the temperature of the pool 10 degrees, but I think this pump is a little too big, it's a little too loud, and it's drawn a little bit too much juice. Ideally, I think I want some sort of like a fish tank pump, like, I don't know, 100 gallons an hour as opposed to like 500 gallons an hour. It's just too loud. It's just obnoxious. Like, but there's got a switch, so like if you could periodically run it, like listen, you hear that? If you could periodically run it and then have it turn off, it would be okay, but it's just too much noise for what I want it to do. So it is thermal siphoning, and it is like when it's off, it thermal siphons. So like if you want to heat her up quick, you run the pump. But I think I'm going to see if I can find a smaller pump to run a little bit less flow. It is not often that I do a redesign in the middle of a video, but I feel it would be a disservice to actually put this out the way I have done it. And the reason being is because it's not performing adequately enough for the amount of effort / material I've used. So I believe that the outside coil with the heat exchanger with the clay is not exchanging enough heat to my pipe. So energy in, meaning the pump that's pumping and the water that's going through, is not creating enough hot water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ramp it up. This is about 40 feet of copper pipes, 40 feet of 3/4 inch copper pipe. Now I've ended up getting another 100 feet. So I'm going to actually triple my heat exchange. And then what I actually found is an old school pool pump. And what's great about this pool pump is it's a pool pump. It's not something that you have to kind of play with and be worried about. It's got its own little GFI plug on it, so you know you're safe. It's not something that you're jerry-rigging, and when you're playing around water, you want to be safe. So this guy is a legitimate pool pump. It's just got to be slightly modified in order to accommodate my stock tank with my garden hose adapter. So what I've done is actually figured out that little guy there, my brass fitting there, to connect my stock tank to my pool pumps. What do you think of this plan?
Should work.
What are you doing today?
Fishing.
Fishing.
The pond's in trouble.
Are you gonna go swimming?
Before?
In the pool?
In the pool?
In the pool.
Probably not.
Oh, well, that's okay.
At some point, maybe, if you get it warm enough.
I haven't spoken about the problems with the pond. Should I? If
You can mention it.
we have some issues with the pond.
It's a catfish pond now.
Yeah, we've had I've actually talked about it pretty extensively on the last 3 days. I've been trying to build this pool heater. Is that it has gotten a lot of rain, like 3 inches of rain in the last 3 days. So we've had a lot of surface water / runoff into the pond, and it's created a lot of turbidity in the water. So, and then we got some dead fish. We got 2 dead fish that we know of, and we also have a predator. Yeah, it's a predator, a blue heron.
Taking at least one a day.
Yeah, we have that on trail camera. You can actually check it out on Chris's channel. He's going to be doing a whole, you're doing a whole video on that.
And I'm preliminary on another issue with the trout, with their gills. And I don't know what it is because I've never seen this before. So it could have something to do with the amount of stress that they're suffering with the water clarity, quality, oxygen, heat, and then them just not being able to fight off this parasite. But there's something in the gills, and I've never seen it before. So,
well,
more research is needed. They're not doing well, put it that way.
yes, that is it is very true. All right, well, I gotta get this pool heater rocking because you know, I don't like to fail. Interesting to note that this copper, this 3/4 inch copper, is air conditioning copper, so it's not the same as 3/4 inch copper that you would buy at your big box store. It's extremely flexible, and the couplings are different sizes. They're slightly smaller than 3/4 inch regular copper. Okay, so I'm going to modify this pump in order to accommodate this. The one side is a garden hose adapter, and the other side is, I believe, pipe thread. So the pipe thread happens to go directly into this opening here. It nicely threads in. I'm going to add a little bit of Teflon tape for some added insurance, and that should be as easy as it's going to take. As simple as it's going to be to hook up my garden hose to this thing. So hopefully it's watertight. Okay, just want to hook up this pump back up, and it's got a plus sign on it. I'm not sure what that means. I think that's where it's coming out. Maybe I'm just gonna hook it up and then fill it up and try it. I'm gonna fire it up, make sure the water comes out as expected, and then I'm gonna fire the heat up. All right, we got that thing fired up. Now I'm gonna let the fire go for like a raging inferno, and I'm gonna test the water coming out of the pipe at the top before I do any other modifications to this thing. So the pump's running good. We've got lots of copper wrapped around that barrel. We should get a significant rise in temperature over the existing pool temp. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of a test. So I got the pool temperature. Pool temperature is 70 degrees right now, which isn't a terrible temperature, but we want it warmer. So if I take this water coming out of the pipe, it's coming out at a constant speed, so you can feel it. There's a notable difference. Let's just, like, I can touch it, but I wouldn't want to stick my hand there too long. Let's see what we got. We got 90, we're at 100, we're at 110. We're steaming. There's steam coming off here. We're at 110, 115, go to 115, we're at 115, 118, 120, 120 degrees. You know what, it's off the scale. It's at 120. So 120 degrees is coming out at a constant rate. I'm not sure gallons per minute on that thing, but I imagine if you put a 5-gallon pail, you'd probably fill it up in, I don't know, a couple of minutes. So that's a good flow. We've got about 20 or 30 pounds of firewood in the box. We got a roaring fire. This thing is going to be up to swimming temperature in no time. Following day, now we're going to do a full-scale test today of what kind of temperatures we can achieve using the heater. It rained again last night, so I got more cool rainwater in the tub, and it cooled it off a little bit overnight. So we're back down to 70. That is sort of what you experience with pools, is that overnight you lose a lot of temperature. So that's the reason why you have a wood-fired heater, because you heat it up when you want to use it, and then you let it cool down. What I've got my power pack. My EcoFlow is going to power my pump, and then I'm going to fire up my pool heater and give it a full-scale test. Hey buddy, what we're going to do?
I'm going to the pool.
Oh yeah? Go for it.
I'm so excited.
We'll go for a swim.
Okay.
Go hop in.
Cool.
Cool.
It's like I have my own little set by the pond.
Yeah? You go for a swim? You hop in? You think it's warm?
You.
What?
There's bug in it.
Oh, I'll get the bug out. I gotta get a skimmer still. There.
So can I hop in?
Sure, you can just be careful. Go for it. Is it warm?
It's cold.
Is it cold? How cold is it?
I'm like not too cold, but cold.
Are you gonna be able to get in? You gonna wait a couple minutes?
And I got some LOL Perfect. And I got Ocean Honor and an ice cream cone.
Nice.
Little bit more.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's still a little cold.
All right, we'll give it a couple minutes, okay? I am a self-proclaimed battery aficionado. I have a lot of EcoFlow product. Now, there's a battery for every application you can imagine. So this guy here, I'll give you a little bit of a tour of my batteries. This is the EcoFlow Delta Pro. Now this thing packs a huge punch. It's like 3,600 watt hours of power. It allows you to, throw it in the back of your truck or in the back of your van and give you enough power for the entire weekend. If you're going for an extended stay and you don't want to deal with recharging the thing, this is the way to go. The next one on the list is EcoFlow Delta Max. Now this thing is cool because it's sort of lightweight. You can pick it up, you can carry it with you. And the thing is it's scalable, so you can add additional extra battery packs if you need more juice. So you can pair it with one battery, you can pair it with the second battery to give it its full capacity. This thing also boasts the same electrical ports as the EcoFlow Delta Pro. Actually, I think it has more. This one actually has 6 AC outlets. It has the same USB-A and USB-C ports, and it can be charged the same way. This over here is my go-to pack for portability. This is the EcoFlow Delta. And what's neat about this thing is it's lightweight. It has the 2 handles to carry it around. So this thing I kind of, what I use it for is I like to throw it at my truck when I'm using my Sawzall. It allows me to go to a location, plug in my tools, and use them like they were cordless tools, because it's got enough power to pretty much run everything like up to like a full day. It has 6 AC outlets on the back, so if you want to plug in 6 things simultaneously, it has the USB-C, USB-A ports on the front, it has the DC outlets and all that. And then the smaller packs, say you're going on a hike and you still want to be able to charge your phone, say it's going low, the EcoFlow River Max has enough power to do that and more. Or the other guy is the EcoFlow River Mini. Same sort of style, just a little bit smaller and a little bit more portable. So that, my friend, is pretty much the EcoFlow lineup. Now, if you guys need a power pack, head to their website. There's a power pack that can be tailored to the needs that you have.
Will that take everything out?
Takes all of the stuff on the top, see? You to test the water. Touch it now.
Oh, it's perfect.
Is it? What is it? Is it warm?
Uh-huh.
How warm is it?
Perfect.
How warm is it? We'll get in.
It's not too warm.
No, it's not too warm?
Perfect.
All right.
Let's get in, Dad.
You good? There you go.
It's closer. Go. Can you get those?
Yeah. Spit it still, eh? Keep your mouth closed.
bit me.
Did
Thank you, Daddy.
Well, just here, go underwater. You gonna go underwater right here?
It's kind of slippery to go in the water.
We're about 2 hours into the heating process and we're at 85 degrees. That's pretty significant rise in temperature for 2 hours and about 1.5 loads of wood. So she's got pretty much a nice little coal bed. She's coming out at a piping hot. So we're just gonna see how far we can make this go. As you know, children are always excited, and she probably jumped the gun on getting in the pool. It was a little chilly. It was probably about 80 degrees once she decided to get in, but we're gonna give it a whirl. So she's gone to warm up, and maybe this afternoon she can try it again when it's a little bit warmer. We're gonna aim for, I don't know. We're gonna see where this goes. It could be a hot tub pool at this point. We're just gonna see, because I don't even know how hot I can get this. It's such a great day, actually. It's still moderately cool, so that's probably why the pool needs to be a little bit warmer. And as you guys can see, there's no sunshine. It's cloud cover, so if you had a solar collector, you wouldn't be able to get enough sunshine to heat this thing. That's why we're going artificial. Well, is it really artificial? It's firewood anyways. So yeah. All right, guys. Near the end of the day, it's 4 o'clock, so this thing has been heating since 11. How many hours is that? Not that many hours. I've loaded it 2.5 times. It ended up cleaning up some sticks and some debris and stuff like that, so it was all going into the stove, and it was heating up my hot water. So let's take a look at the temperature. Now I stick my arm in there. It's like bath water. It is toasty. What do we got? We're at 95 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius. I have no doubt in my mind that I could keep running this thing, adding more wood to my pool heater, and I could make this into a hot tub easily. I have no doubt about it. That heater worked exceptional to heat the water efficiently, and it's simple. It's so simple to do, and you don't need that many skills to do it. You don't need to be a specialty welder and weld stainless steel. You can get yourself a barrel, a coil of copper, and some rudimentary soldering skills, and you be able to put this thing together. I got all the confidence in the world for you to do this thing at home. This thing is crazy. It's exceeded my expectations. I don't know. There were some trials and tribulations, but you know what? We got it right, and it works really well.
Oh, it's like a summer hot tub.
Isn't it?
Oh,
it's toasty.
You gotta get in.
It's a hot tub, isn't it, buddy?
Uh-huh.
It's like bath water. What do we got? We got, it's a titch under 100 degrees.
Oh.
There you go, buddy. Nice and warm, right?
Uh-huh. It feels so nice.
That's a hot tub. Ah.
Hot tub.
Well, buddy, this is a smidge too warm. I think we gotta not make it this warm again.
I don't want to get out.
Yeah, is it that warm? It's toasty. I'm another mermaid.
Oh, I'm a dolphin.
You dolphin? Hi, dolphin. How are you doing? Ah. You're not supposed to squirt me.
Daddy, I like playing in the bathtub with you. Guess what?